So there you have it. God will work through an open heart. God will work through an open mind. So what other prayer can we pray but, God, open my heart. God, open my mind. Work through me. Use me. Here I am, Lord. Yes, I am here to love. Yes, I'm here to serve. Yes, I'm here to be the love of God. And y'all, I get it. It's hard. It's hard. And over the last weeks and months, I have had more and more people coming to me and saying, how am I supposed to love this? How am I supposed to love that? How am I supposed to love him? How am I supposed to love it when that happens? And so I want to read you something, and I'm going to put it in the newsletter next month so you can read it again. But I wrote this for the newsletter, and then I thought, no, I need to say it out loud. I need to say it out loud. God is everything, or God is nothing. It's our choice. God is not sometimes. God is not subject to our convenience. And God is not Santa Claus, here to fulfill our personal wishes. What God is the constant, unwavering presence that holds the consequences of every flap of every butterfly wing, that knows the name of every hurting child, celebrates every triumph of the soul, cradles every breaking heart, and does not judge or falter in energy or power or love. That's God. We, in our humanness, look at the world and we pretend we know what is actually going on. And then we judge it and act and react from a reality that is partial at best. And our human nature is such that when we are comfortable, when our ways of being in the world are not being challenged, we judge it as good. Oh, life is good. Everything's going good for me. And we're willing to believe that all is well. God is here. Our faith is strong. And I'm going to ask you to do something right now. So maybe close your eyes or just breathe deeply. And I want you to picture the best day of your life. Breathe into it. Don't fall into the mental energy of trying to argue what's your best day. Pick a good one. And then allow yourself to feel how you felt that day when everything was going your way and you felt prosperous, loved, proud to live in the country, the town, the neighborhood that you inhabit. When you felt safe from hardship and disease. And though you suspected a certain amount of corruption might be going on in the world, it didn't overly concern you or overwhelm you. Be on that day when your loved ones were safe and happy. Remember that wonderful day when you may even have been aware of a fraction of your blessings. And were even perhaps grateful and gave thanks. Called God good, loved your life. Picture it. Breathe in the peace of it. And consider that on that very amazing, beautiful, blessed day, on that day, there were millions of people starving in corrupt economies. There were workers being denied their pay, women deprived of basic human rights, children suffering, dictators plotting genocide, spreading propaganda, pillaging the earth's resources, and silencing the best and the brightest scientists, historians, philosophers, artists. There were people dying in epidemics of diseases that in our country are unheard of, or at least easily and quickly managed or cured. This was happening. All of that was happening on your day, on my day of utmost happiness. Wow. I don't say this to just press you or scare you or make you feel guilty for being human, because that's the nature of humanity. And I believe that when we have joy, we grab it. Whether we're in the midst of suffering or not, when there is a moment of joy, we take it and we give thanks for it. But I do wish to note that perhaps we judge the world as good on that day because it was good for us personally. And perhaps some days we judge it as bad and hopeless now because we perceive that the bad is happening, or could happen, or might happen to us, or to our loved ones. The nature of being human is that we constantly judge. And even the most loving and open-minded of us can see only from a limited perspective. We're human. And while we inhabit these limited minds and bodies, we cannot hold the perspective of the entirety of God. But if we choose to, we can trust it. We can trust that there is a God, and that God is loving, and that God has the whole picture. And we see in a 8-hour mini-series, we get to see 2 flips of the screen, maybe. Actually, that's a gross exaggeration of how much we can actually see of the human world. What's going on and what has gone on and what will go on. But God holds it all, and we can trust it. It's our choice. It's our choice. Love is our purpose. All the time, or never. If you believe in God on your best day and stop believing in love on your worst day, then you don't believe in love. You believe in your ego. Sorry to say that. And I put myself in that category too. Everything's going well for me. The world looks pretty good. But knowing that God holds all of it, that God is happy for our happy days, if we can personify God for a moment. But that God holds all of it. And I choose to believe. I mean, it's all the time or it's never. And I choose to believe that love reigns. Love reigns all the time. Whether or not I can see it or understand it, I choose to believe that when my heart hurts or feels anger or fear, when I am tempted to complain and cast blame, that is the very moment at which I am most loudly being called to love. More deeply, trustingly, openly, fiercely, and fully. I have to do what I can. What I can. I can't change the whole world, but I can change what goes on in my little loop. And I am called in that moment to be the change that I seek, to do what is mine to do, and to let go of the rest. We're not letting it go cavalierly. We're letting it go knowing that the arms of eternal and infinite love are cradling it. Whatever it is, no matter what. This is our choice. We get to choose. Thank you. So today I want to talk about responsibility. That was the sermon title. Responsibility, the path to true freedom. What? Responsibility is freedom? Okay. I want to start by, let's talk about what responsibility is. What if responsibility is the ability to respond rather than react in a given moment? It's defined by Webster as duty or concern or obligation or bond or restraint or accountability or assignment or conscientiousness or reliability. trustworthiness. Isn't that what we want to be? And if we are bonded to our word, if we're bonded to love, if we are held in the chains of love and trust, then that is freedom, y'all. Freedom is not the same as chaos. Responsibility, our ability to respond with love, is what I want to talk about today. Because you know what? We can. In the face of anything, we can. When Jesus stood before Pilate, and Pilate said, well, aren't you the one that calls yourself the king of the Jews? Aren't you? He was taunted. Aren't you the one that did? How many of us, when someone goes, at us, can go, stand there unmoved? Jesus' response was to say, you know, this is yours. I'm not even going to enter the fray. That's what you say. Didn't even defend. It reminds me of a story of Martin Luther King when he was in a public place wearing his beautiful suit. He'd just spoken beautifully. And a man, a well-dressed man, also in a suit and a hat, walked up to him and said, "Are you Martin Luther King?" And he said, "Yes, sir, I am." And then the man spat in his face. And what Martin Luther King did is similar to what Jesus did. He reached into his pocket and he pulled out a handkerchief and he wiped the spit from his face. He folded up the handkerchief and he said, "I believe this belongs to you," and handed it back to the man. In other words, your hate is yours. Your lies are yours. Anything that you do is yours. But what I do, how I respond, reflects on me and only me. It has nothing to do with you. What? Nothing to do with you. We have a choice, y'all. We often don't make use of that choice because we are so quick to respond on the heels of whatever has happened. And that's not a response, that's a reaction. That is a lizard brain reaction. That is not open mind or open heart. That is just, oh. So how can we learn to have enough of a pause to remember who we are and respond, have the ability to respond? How can we do that? I tell you what, it takes practice. That's what it takes. If you have not spent time in stillness understanding who you are in truth, if you have not journeyed to that place of knowing that God is good and all is well, and what's mine is mine and what's yours is yours, responsibility-wise, and that any reaction I have to anything that goes on is mine. It has nothing to do with what's going on, it's mine. If you haven't spent time knowing that and knowing yourself and spending time with yourself, then you have zero chance in the moment of responding from love rather than reacting from lizard brain. But if you spend some time practicing love in the face of anything that doesn't feel like love, getting up in the morning and feeling dread and horror and oh my God, and then going and meditating on love anyway. Not because you feel like it, not because you feel it, but because it is your responsibility to learn how to respond with love in this world if you wish to be a worker for love in this world. If you wish to be the change. I wish to be the change. Y'all, I am not good at it. I can be in the middle of a meditation and something happens in my house, I can rise up and say words that you probably don't even think I say. And I can catch myself in that moment and I can say, that was not an appropriate response. That was an inappropriate reaction, and I can do better. And then I just do better. Sit back down. Obviously, more meditation is needed. I journal, I write about it, whatever is needed. But if I don't spend time in a pause between my crazy thoughts, then how can I possibly pause between your stimulus and my reaction? But if we learn how to pause between our own crazy thoughts and the chaos in our minds, then we can learn to pause between the stimulus in the world and our reaction to it. I believe this with all my heart. That's what Jesus did. That's what Martin Luther King did in that moment. That came from a moment of knowing who he was so deeply that it could not be moved by what anybody else thought he was. That's what Jesus did standing before Pilate. It's like, it doesn't matter that all these people are ranting and raving and yelling that I am going to come and, that I'm a criminal, that I'm going to break down society, that I'm going to, it's not what I said, it's never what I said, but y'all are going to interpret it the way you interpret it. I know who I am. I know who I am. And I'm going to stand right here. I'm going to stand right here. The ability to respond. The ability to not cast blame outward, but to take responsibility for what's going on inside. And what I've just been talking to you about right now is another word that's related to responsibility and that you may hate. Discipline. Discipline can lead to freedom? Really? Discipline. Discipline comes from the same word as disciple. Discipline means to be a disciple of something means to devote oneself to it. So if you're a disciple of love, what could be more freeing than that? And I promise you, if you decide that you're a disciple of punishing those who need to be punished, your work will never be done. You will never run out of people to blame. If that's your life's mission, if that's your purpose, but if that's your purpose, own it. Don't say, I believe in love, but it's his fault. God is good all the time or never. Love is who I am all the time, or love is not who I am. It's my choice. It's your choice. It's our choice. So yes, it takes discipline in order to learn to respond at that level. It takes self-restraint and mastery. It takes a certain order. It takes a certain regulation of ourselves. But to be a disciple of something means we believe it, we support it, we devote ourselves to it, we adhere to it. We are students of it. We are constant learners from it. So just breathe in for a minute and think to yourself, I am a disciple of love. What the heck? Let's say it out loud together. Together, I am a disciple of love. I don't know if you all said it. Let's do it one more time. I am a disciple of love. Which means that I believe in love. I support love. I'm devoted to love. Not when conditions are right, but all the time. I adhere to love. I am a student of love. I spend my life learning love. And how do we learn love? How do we learn love? Well, we give love and we receive love. And meditation, obviously, is a place where that happens. Not if your meditation is a time for you to sit quietly and let your brain bombard you with everything that's wrong in the world. And if that's what happens, that's okay. Sit through it. There is something on the other side of it. A lot of us give up too soon. It's about prayer. Coming to church, listening to a church service, tuning into a prayer. Going online and listening to wisdom from somebody who speaks love. Reading wisdom literature, taking classes. All of these are tools. They're just tools to help you in your true responsibility, your true discipline, which is just to love. It doesn't really matter how you do it. We talk about in this church, we celebrate the infinite paths to God. There is that one God, one love. We are the church of one love, and we come to it from infinite number of places, and each human being has a different path. There's no one way to do it. But it's all love, and if we don't devote ourselves to it, it won't happen. And y'all, I don't know about you, but right now the world around me is screaming for love. It's not screaming for me to join in with the people that agree with me and yell louder and let my anger be heard more and more and more. If I am angry, you know what that means? It means I need to get off my rear end and find out what I can do about the thing that I'm angry about. And I'll give you a clue. Yelling is not it. It might be volunteering. It might be giving money. It might be learning more about it so you have a deeper understanding of it. It might be joining a group. It might be, there are infinite ways, there are infinite things you can do, but what are you doing? Because posting it on Facebook, anger plus anger, do the math. Hate plus hate, do the math. Hate plus love, at least cancels it out. Hate plus love, plus love, plus love, plus love, plus love. Hate doesn't stand a chance. And even hate plus love doesn't actually even itself out, because love is a much higher vibration of energy, if I may be woo-woo for just a moment. Hate is of the lower order. Fear is of our lizard brain, and our minds have developed, have evolved to such a higher place than that. And so when we can take it out of the lizard brain and put it up here, then love always, 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 always will win over hate. Always. So trick yourself. If you find yourself in a place where you just cannot love, how am I supposed to love this? I just cannot love this. I'm going to give you some choices. One, get out of that place. Which may mean get off Facebook. It may mean turn the TV off. It may mean walk to a different room. It may mean telling a loved one, you know what? I love you and I can't discuss this with you anymore. But I love you. See you again someday. I love you. I cannot discuss this with you anymore. But no matter what, I love you. Goodbye. Not, you're wrong. Boom. That's anger plus anger equals anger. Anger plus love equals the possibility of communication. Anger plus love means an open door. And I believe that divisiveness that we may see around us is about people slamming doors. Not just those people slamming doors, but us slamming doors. Whoever the us are and whoever the those people are. We leave our door open, then all they have to do is open there's a crack, and there we are. We have our door closed, they open there's a crack, yep, it's closed, thought so. And we don't move on from that. Leave your door open. God will work through an open heart. God will work through an open mind. And that, y'all, does not believe if they would open their hearts and their minds, that means if I open my heart and my mind, God will work through me. Marianne Williamson says, the ego says, once everything falls into place, I'll find peace. Spirit says, when I find my peace, everything will fall into place. Again, it's an inside job, y'all. And is it the chicken or the egg? Love is both the chicken and the egg. It doesn't matter where you start. You just do it. You just be love. One moment. Start by being love where it's easy and work your way up to being love where it's hard. But at least be aware that when you are not able to be love because something is hard, that that is about you and not about the something. Not about the something. And when you know it's about you and your job is to be love, then you will be more effective in healing whatever that thing is that you have blamed. A lot of times anger means it's just like a pain. Pain means, well, I should get that checked out, something that's not in balance. Anger is the same thing. Wait a minute, this doesn't feel good to me. Why? What does it need? Love. I'll go ahead and give you the answer. I don't care what the question is. The answer is love. Vincent van Gogh, I love this, Van Gogh, I'm going to say it right, says, make your love an art. The more I think it over, the more I feel that there is nothing more truly artistic than loving people. You're an artist. Love is your palette, love is your brush, love is the paint, love is the sound, love is everything. So take responsibility for the love that you have reign over. Discipline yourself. And let me tell you what freedom is. Freedom is the ability to stay who you are regardless of what anyone else does. That is freedom, my friends. And that's worth taking responsibility for. It's worth doing a little discipline for. I love you. I bless you. I truly appreciate you. And I pray for my heart to open, just as I pray that all of our hearts will stay open in love. So let's just take that into a meditation, or maybe just a short prayer. Breathe in, if you will, for me. And let it go. Get ready, y'all. This is discipline. Breathe in and breathe out. Simply slowing your breath down. Simply taking a breath is a discipline that will lead you to freedom. Take another one. And Thich Nhat Hanh, who was a beautiful meditation teacher, said, mind is going all kinds of ways. Simply do this. Say to yourself, breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know I am breathing out. And keep breathing. And keep thinking that. It will keep your mind from wandering to a lot of different places. And when your mind does wander, bring it back. Oh yeah, breathing in, I'm breathing in. That's all I'm doing, I'm breathing in. I'm breathing out, that's all I'm doing, I'm breathing out. Breathe in. And breathe out. The prayer attributed to St. Francis says, where there is hatred, let me sow love. Breathe that in. And sow some love as you breathe out. You will find you will be confronted with hatred and pain and fear and anger and all kinds of things. Breathe it in. And on the out breath, let there when you're upset about things that seem to be so dark, people speaking darkness, people speaking fear. Breathe it in. And breathe out light. When you are confronted with pain, other people's or your own, breathe it in. And breathe out the healing balm of love. When you are just completely surrounded by chaos, bombarded by chaos, chaotic thoughts, chaotic people, chaotic systems, chaotic minds, breathe it in and breathe out the perfect order of love. Where there is injury, pardon. If I'm blaming anyone, the blame belongs to me and it hurts me. And so I can breathe out forgiveness for myself. And from that understanding, I can breathe out forgiveness for others as well. Jesus said, they don't know what they're doing. Forgive them, God. They don't know what they're doing. Y'all, they don't know what they're doing. We don't know what we're doing most of the time. So simply breathe in whatever it is that's going on. And breathe out love. You'll never know if it works. You do it consistently. We have a tendency to say, this diet doesn't work. I've been on it for a whole day and I haven't lost any weight. Throw it in the trash can. Because we want immediate results. And that's not how life works. But the immediate result of breathing out love is that we get the breath of love flowing through our bodies. That's an immediate result. And the more we take the time to allow the breath of love to flow through our bodies, the more often we do this, and for the longer we do it, the more time we build up having done it, the easier it will be for us to say, I believe this belongs to you. And then to bless it with love. That's the freedom of knowing who we are. And y'all, we need reminding. I need reminding. Daily reminding, hourly reminding, momently reminding. I need reminding. And so I do what I can to remind myself. And I ask God to send me reminders. And often those reminders don't show up as cute kittens. They show up as a dog peeing on a bed. That's my reminder that I have the choice to respond with love or not. But once I've made up my mind that that's who I am, and that's what I will devote myself to as a disciple, then I'm on that road. And I have all kinds of help in walking it. I have the love of God shining down on and through and as me every moment. I have the love of my church community, people on my side wanting me to succeed. I have the love of my friends and family. I have my love for my so